Welcome to part 35 of Yakuza 0. And in this episode, we're going to pick up the fortune teller that we just got finished doing a side quest with in the last part. She's going to be our financial advisor, probably one of the most expensive advisors in the game, the other being Miracle Johnson. And the reason you want her is, despite how much money she costs to invest in the stuff, you can easily A, B, or even S rank properties that you happen to pick up with her. Although I would recommend waiting until you get like high volume. Oh, wait, we got a money battle. And this is where you need to put as much money as you possibly can, while your manager can stave off the kings when they try to purchase the land. Once they dock one of your manager's stars, they'll try to come back again. You won't get any shares if they dock a star in a draw. But if you actually manage to stave off the king, a share will be gained from it. But more importantly, if your manager loses the money battle and they lose all their stars, that territory belongs to the king, and you're going to have to buy it back from him. They're not lost forever, don't worry, but you'll just have to buy all the properties that were stolen from you back if you lose in the money battle. So bear that in mind. Anyway, the fortune teller actually has a high gross in the entertainment business. So by all means, when you see the dance clubs and entertainments and they need to be maxed out, for the love of God, use the fortune teller. But also, bear in mind, Miracle Jackson's the same way too. There are going to be other managers as well, like for instance the director. We got to find out where that guy is too, and like complete his side quest just so he can join us. But whatever the case, we got an S rank and we've got a few A ranks, so we're good to go. And our security is fine for right now, so we're going to prepare ourselves to collect this money. However, we managed to make it to 61%. Oh boy, we made it to 61. You know what that means. It's the halfway point. And now we're going to have to challenge the king, or should I say the king is going to challenge us to a duel. Although it won't be fisticuffs this time around. As I said, the kings had a mini game. Each one of them at 60% will have a mini game waiting for you, and it involves any of the stores that you've probably visited. In this case, for the Leisure King, remember in part 1, or should I say part 2, I mentioned that the Leisure King has to be defeated with judgment. Well, we're at that part right now. So we're going to have to go to the karaoke bar Victory, the karaoke bar, in order for us to meet up with the Leisure King and beat him at his own game. By the way, this is somewhat easy compared to some of the other kings. I'd say the hardest one would probably be the Electronics King. Oh, and by the way, let me make sure I max this out before I visit the Leisure King, because I need to make sure that the Leisure King, even though if he beats me, he doesn't take too much. I mean, he's going to take 10%, but he doesn't beat me too much to where I won't be able to recover it, which I will if I'm able to have a property saved, which is why I say do not buy all of your properties immediately. It's going to be harder to get those shares back if you haven't bought a property than what you will. No. It'll be harder to get the shares back if you bought all the properties. That's what I meant to say. Rather than if you haven't bought a property. Because if you haven't bought a property, when any of the kings beat you in their games, they'll take 10%. All you gotta do is just take 2 properties. Boom. You're back to right where you were, and probably with more shares because your also investing those shares, and those share no, I meant to say investing those properties, and those properties will give you shares. Point is, you have a long road, well, not that long of a road, but a minuscule road in order for you to get to 90%. But once you get to 90% is where the real danger lies. So we just got one more time with the Sushi Jinsef, and or Sushi Gin, whichever one you want to call it. And with that, we will fully befriend the Sushi Gin chef, because I went and fished for some more stuff. I managed to only caught a supersized squid and a supersized alba, but whatever the hell, I just fed it to him or made sushi, and now we can, from here on in, you don't have to worry about friendship. You'll get free sushi by simply bringing in ingredients to have the sushi chef cook. So that way you'll get a free health recovery. And now that we went there and befriended the Sushi Gin chef, now we can come back and get his place. But for now, we got a karaoke bar to deal with. Oh, and I beat up some punks along the way. So let's do that as the game is crashing. Now then, I did explain that judgment needed to be completed in order for you to get to the, or should I say, you have to complete the song Judgment in order to beat this guy. I didn't explain how much. You needed an 80 or better. Yes, not a 90 or better. I made that mistake in part 2. But even then, it can be hard because Judgment is a really fast game for you to keep up with. Oh, and for the record, this is a precursor to Yakuza 5's gameplay. Oh, God have mercy. Well, let's do it. But first, we have to get through this cutscene. As the Leisure King is going to challenge you to karaoke. So I might as well get the challenges out of the way right now. The Leisure King will challenge you to karaoke. The Pleasure King will challenge you to phone sex. The Electronics King will challenge you to a high score on Outrun. The Gambling King will challenge you to a rock, paper, scissors minigame where you have to invest a lot of money in. And the Finance King will challenge you to a dance-off. No, not Finance King. Media King will challenge you to a dance-off. But the Gambling King will be the last one to deal with. Oh, actually, no, it's the Media King. No, Media King's the last one to deal with. And I do believe the Media King's the hardest one of the bunch. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show on the road. Hit Judgment and sing to our heart's content. Sorry about that, it was going way too fast for me. But I managed to make 90% on the second try. First try was 80, but still, I got a character point from that, and there you go. Needless to say, the Leisure King defeated. And because I defeated the Leisure King, 10% of his shares go to me. Meaning the Leisure King will be easily called out yet again in the next 20% shares. All I need to do is just buy a couple of properties, or more importantly, invest in the ones I have, and the Leisure King will come crawling out. So, that just means I gotta prepare myself for battle, because the Leisure King is coming, and he's gonna pull out all the stops now, seeing as how you can't beat him in karaoke. Either way, whether you win or lose, the Leisure King is gonna make a threat to you. Same thing with the Electronics King, same thing with the Pleasure King, same thing with the Media King, same thing with the Finance King. They will all threaten you if you win or lose their events. Now let's go back to Sushi Gin and actually buy the area. And by doing this, my backup plan, it was really unneeded, but actually this further speeds up the process to bringing out the Leisure King for one last battle. Because you don't have to face him at 100%. Actually, you can't face him at 100%. You gotta face him at 90%. You won't be able to get to 100% until you completely defeat the Leisure King. But whatever the case, folks, we have actually 8 properties from the Leisure King. I could get 2 more and go on ahead and face off against the Leisure King if I remember where they were. But instead, I'm going to go back to the office and collect my money because I beat the Leisure King in karaoke. Eventually, I'm going to collect enough money so I could go on ahead and buy the rest of the abilities so I could start doing more Rush, more Beast, and more Brawler abilities. That way I can max out the table before I actually get Dragon of Dojima style. But whatever the case, I managed to accumulate $100 million for a character point. And oh, we gotta fix the managers. But first, let's go on ahead and change to... Well, actually, no, let's go on ahead and try to power this up. Oh, wait, I have enough money to do that. Come on, go back over there. Go back over there. Alright, never mind. I'll just use one. It'll come to a time that I'm going to have to get a better manager. Actually, no, I have a better manager. And advisor. Alright, now is the perfect time. We're going... Oh, well, I was going to say now's the perfect time to show off the fortune teller, but that's okay. Let's S-rank you. Yes, let's S-rank you. Or no, I don't think I do. Damn it. I still have enough money yet. You know what? Let's use Crazy Kyo to try to S-rank this one. So we got 2 S-ranked actually 3 S-ranked properties. Holy crap. Let's go ahead and change Sachiko because she's in an area where business is bad. So we gotta find another manager and fast. I'm gonna switch with the officer. I think I'm gonna switch. Not you. I'm gonna get him back. That way it'll at least have the security at B. So we're good. Now let's start collecting. And with that said, We'll be right back. Because we've got other things that we need to do. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, we had only 7 properties. We'll soon have 8. Don't you worry. No, I mean, we'll have 8 by the end of this, but we'll have 8 nonetheless, because one of the properties in question is right there. So, let's go on ahead and buy that property, because we got more than enough money to do so. $10 million. Perfect. See, buying all the properties is sometimes a bad idea. But you know what? Now is a good time to come back because we went and collected some money and ended up getting 90%. The Leisure King is no longer holding back. He's pretty much issued a challenge. And now we're going to have to go by Serena in order to fight him. And in case you're wondering, Serena is also where Oda is. We're not going to Serena just yet. So, with that said, a 5 billionaire challenge happens, all collection revenues will stop. Until, that is, you beat the billionaire. So, with that said, I am going to check the item box and get some stuff that I had taken out. And had to because of the fact that I caught fish. So now, let us leave this area. And we're going to go over to Serena. And we're going to confront the Leisure King. And you had better have some weapons on hand. Because the Leisure King is no joke. Makes you wish that I would have maxed out some of my abilities. Yeah, remember all those goons you fought when you were at 33% of the Leisure King's shares? Yeah, they're back. Only this time, he's with them. And he's probably the toughest of the bunch. So, what you're going to do, you're going to have to take care of the small fry first, and then deal with the Leisure King, who will constantly stun you. Alright. I do have one suggestion though. If you do come here, at least complete Beast, if not Brawler. Because you're going to need it against the Leisure King. Now, the fight's going to start, and the Leisure King is going to pretty much have his goons do all the dirty work for you. No, dirty work for him, sorry. While you, on the other hand, are going to have to watch your back on 4 sides. Heat actions is the only way you're going to survive this. Because he is going to come back and super kick you for every chance. If you have a Tiger Drop, by all means use it. But whatever you do, do not pick up the pole unless you have a special move for it. I'm pretty sure that I didn't get the special move for. Oh, ouch! He is wrecking my shit. Yeah, bear in mind you can't really take on the other kings until you get rid of the Leisure King. And yeah, that's the thing I was referring to. They will constantly put you in a stun string, so you gotta be careful. I mean, I could switch it to a weapon, but from the looks of it, I don't think that's necessary, because the Leisure King's almost dead anyway. And took care of business with him. That takes care of you. I think I took care of the other guy too. Oh, damn it. I just realized he's sneaking me from behind. Well, so much for blocking. And so much for that one. Stepped right on his nuts. And now we have a lumber, and we're not afraid to use. Honestly, I shouldn't have used the lumber. What I should have did was use the guard breaker, but I didn't. Damn it. Even though I'm blocking, he's still going through my blocks. And he's pretty much spazzing out, just waiting for me to get up. This is not good. I should not have picked the plank. Yes, I know. Failure with a plank, lost subscribers. This is so embarrassing. I'm not trying to do this on purpose. I accidentally picked up the plank trying to attack him with it, and I forgot it doesn't have a heat action. And if it does, I think it's level 3. Well, at least I freed up some space. But that doesn't matter because he's freeing me up. Damn it! And he's breaking my guard. Hey, there we go. That's all we needed to do. Break that guard and break him. Ooh, that is my thumbnail for this part. I don't know. I don't care what anybody said. That is my thumbnail. Fuck that. That was just glorious how I tossed his ass. Whatever the case, we just put it in to the Leisure King, because you don't have to actually drop his HP to 0. And that's the case of all the kings. So, with that said, the Leisure King is completely removed from the equation. On top of that, we will be introduced to the 5 kings right about now. Considering the fact that these 5 billionaires always work in secret, seeing one of them get beaten up is probably enough to pique their curiosity. Well, from left to right, might as well just introduce them. Electronics King, Media King, Gambling King, and Pleasure King. Yeah. This... goodness. I was getting way too stiff on the shoulders. This right here is where things are going to start picking up. I mean, you only had to beat the Leisure King by himself, and now you have to take care of his properties since you've completely defeated them. But that's not the case, because at the end of the day, the remainder of the kings is practically going to be easier to deal with than the Leisure King himself. Okay, let me fix that. You could actually switch between the kings now, or well, not yet. We haven't gotten to that point, but since the kings have been introduced, now you can pick whichever king you want to go after first. The thing is, the Media King is going to be for last, or was it the Gambling King? No, it's the Media King that's going to be for last. And, that's the Pleasure King. Now, I know what you're thinking. What do you mean by king? That is pretty much exactly what it is. The Pleasure King dressing in drag because that's his kink, and that's all there is to it. And he's only there for one thing: sexual thrill. Bear in mind, he's going to be the hardest to fight out of the 4. No, I am not kidding. And when we cross that bridge, I'll let you know. So, with that said, these are going to be our mid-bosses for right now. And we're going to be probably stuck in Chapter 5 for a good bit. And then afterwards, we'll move on to Chapter 6 once we deal with the kings. They just practically left the Leisure King to his own devices. Wow. And I said I needed a new manager. Well, we got one. The Leisure King is now officially a manager under Kiryu's real estate. And his cohort, Takashita, he's going to be security. So now we got a new security and a new manager. So it'll be easier for you to actually fund lands than what it would be with the ones I've got. Bear in mind there are other managers. But for now, we got those guys. And the blocks for the Brawler style has been unlocked. So we're halfway opened up the Brawler style. But folks, we're not done yet. We're going to have to go back and prepare ourselves. Because as I stated before, we now can choose between the electronics, media, or was it gambling? I think it's like electronics, pleasure, I know for sure. But the Gambling King. No, I'm pretty sure it's the Media King. You know what? I'll see what's going on in the cutscene. It's almost as if this isn't your playthrough. No, it is. I just completely forgot. I completely forgot who I take on and who is the... Oh no, the Media King's the last one. So it's the Gambling King. I was right the first time. So you have a choice between the Gambling King, the Electronics King, and the Pleasure King. And before I start pursuing the Pleasure King and the Gambling King, first things first, I'm going to go on ahead and get that payout. Yeah, we're going to go on ahead and get all the money we got. And we got $78 million. Now that's what's up. Now we could go on ahead and start investing in some more property. Let's get you. Oh no, wait, no. Yeah, let's get the... We got 78,000. I should be able to dunk some money onto that. So we pretty much now made 5 shops S-rate. And the Masochist Man just pretty much ranked up another shop to B. So we got B's and S's and A's. I can assure you one thing. We do not need to worry too much about money. Because that's going to be a big revenue payout coming in. And by the way, I also ranked up the quick payout to level 3. And we got 100% in shares. All we need to do is find the remaining 2 properties and surprise, surprise. Oh, wait, the Leisure King. I could go ahead and put the Leisure King in. Yeah, let's go ahead and put the Leisure King in. And let's see. What about Takashita? Or Takeshi, or whatever his name is. Yep, there it is. Although the security did drop. I only paid 900,000 just so I can bring back a large investment. So with that said, I'll see you all in the next episode as we prepare to start after the Pleasure King. And this is RPMan985. See you guys in part 36, which is going to be on Monday.